Hey guys, my name is Spencer Coffman. Thank you for watching the Deception Tips videos. They're all about teaching you how to read people and detect deception so that you will be able to tell if someone is lying to you. Today we are going to talk about a really cool sign that is something that is fairly easy to see, and it's really cool. So when people talk and when they move, their hands and their voice should mirror each other. So like when I'm talking and you see my hands going, I emphasize a point and my hand moves with this emphasis of my voice, with the words, with whatever word I'm stressing with my hand. It's a gesture and words must be in sync. They need to be simultaneous. Now we talked a little bit about this in video number 3 or deception tip number 3 with simultaneous things happening and that they needed to be in sync. Now today we are going to talk about the gestures, how they need to be simultaneous with the speech, not just symmetrical. And that is it. This is deception tip number 12. Truthful words and gestures occur simultaneously. In contrast, lying words and gestures will be out of sync. For example, pointing after speaking. So truthful words and gestures, so this is speech and body language right here, they will be in sync, whereas lying words and gestures will be out of sync. So with the whole speech and synchronization platform, we've got a lot of different things happening, so you'll kind of get a review on one video and you're going to get a sneak peek of some future stuff. So with words and gestures, we have synchronization. Everything really must be congruent. Everything must be in sync. It must happen simultaneously. So when it comes to body language, the sides of the body should be symmetrical, congruent, and when it comes to speaking, that should all be symmetrical and congruent. And then when it comes to relating with each other, speech and body language should also be congruent. So you have all those areas that need to be symmetrical, congruent, happening at the same time, simultaneous, etc. So when people talk, when they're telling the truth and they're using their hands or their body or anything to gesture, those gestures will go with their speech, because when people are spontaneously speaking or are speaking with stuff that's coming right from their mind and going out, it's non-rehearsed, it's right now, it's happening off the cuff, they are going to move their hands with their speech at the same time because it's all off the cuff. When it's natural, things happen together. When people behave normally, or sometimes you hear, well, how did you, man, that was a really good presentation, it was so great. Well, I just decided to let it go and without any notes and just give my presentation from the heart. And that's often when it's best, when people kind of let loose and they stop worrying or thinking about it and things just flow. And when that happens, their words and their speech and everything is all synchronized and simultaneous. Now, when they're lying, they will emphasize things that are going and it is a little bit off and it's not in synchronization with their voice. The reason they do that is because the conscious and unconscious are always fighting, and so the unconscious is messing up the hand gestures so that people can see that deceptive leakage. Now, it's also done because the conscious wants to emphasize the point. The conscious knows that when people speak naturally, they use their hands most of the time. And so it uses that and tries to use those gestures to emphasize the points of the lie, but because the unconscious and the conscious are fighting, there's a little bit of a lag there, so the hands do not quite move with the speech as they should. Now I say that the conscious and unconscious are fighting and everything like they're two different people, but they're really not. It's all up in your head. It's the same. It's just that they're both fighting for the front line, let's say. Now this is something that you have seen before, and if not, you can see it very easily. There's a very famous political video that I'll leave you to find. If you want to listen to the podcast to get the audio from that video, then you will see, and it's also been talked about there, and you can know what video that is. But it's a very famous video where the politician was speaking, and as he was speaking, his hand was moving. But you notice when I say hand, my finger moved at the exact same time. He said hand, and then his finger moved. So he didn't say the word hand, but when he spoke, it was afterwards. So you can see that, cue it up on YouTube and check that out, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about, and you'll see it in action. But keep in mind, watch for that in everyday life for people who have speech and body language patterns out of synchronization. In addition, if you notice that, or if you think you notice that, watch out for other signs of deception, because there will always be more than one sign. If this is your first time watching these videos, I would love to have you subscribe to the channel on YouTube. In addition, leave a comment on there if you have any questions. We also have a lot more information available on SpencerCoffman.com. We have books, ebooks, blog posts, videos, etc. all there, 100% dedicated to teaching you exactly how to detect deception and know exactly what everybody is saying. Until next time.